Are you guys ready for the tour? If you go ahead and click the like and subscribe button at the bottom, the video will automatically start playing in like 3 or 4 seconds. When you're done, come drag me out of here. Okay, let's get this party started. This is the mom's attic, storage space above the cab of the vehicle with 2 layers of reflectix, and that light you just saw in the middle is tied into the house battery, so it functions as a backup source of light in case something happened to my solar system or battery. And there that is. There's actually 3 of them in the vehicle. Below here we've got a layer of foam, foil-backed foam to help insulate the bottom, and I've got these grills in here that help allow a little bit of airflow up in here because it's not a air-conditioned or heated space, and it allows things to breathe, so we're not dealing with any constant condensation issues or anything of the sort. But this is, I believe it's about 23 cubic feet of space divided into the 3 compartments, and I've left the spacing across the top open so I can stick longer things up here if I needed to for storage. And got to resecure a couple of these tape areas, but again, you know, this is just the storage compartment. Nothing super duper fancy. It just helps me hide everything that I don't want the world to see, or I don't want flying around when the van is rolling. But I guess that's about everything for up here. It's just storage. Nothing super duper special. Few wires running hidden behind here. Some LED strip lights. That foil makes everything really, really shiny and bright, so you can see everywhere in all the nooks and crannies, and it makes it easy. We are now going to go into the power room. And all the mess that it is. When I put this all together, I said that when I get bored on the road one day, I will go through and reorganize these wires and label them all. I haven't gotten bored yet. But you can see some fuses, and this is an AC charger. I can charge the battery by plugging it in if I need to. Never needed to. There's another switch for different things, fuses, breakers. Solar controller. That is a little baby heater, just in case of any kind of emergency and I needed to put a little heat in here for the lithium battery. That's what that's for. We come back here on the wall. There's a 2000 watt continuous inverter. All 24 volt, of course. And then moving across, there's a disconnect breaker switch. Behind there, we've got a fuse block that controls essentially most of the driver's side of the van. Little silver box right in the center that steps down to 12 volt from 24. And we'll pan around here and across the bottom. That right there is our Tesla battery. And then we'll close this. And here's our little control panel. There's our inverter turn on, water tank meter. This will tell you voltage on the battery. And just assortment of switches for different things and some plugs. And what I aim to do where this is now is taking up the end of this shelf. I'm actually going to sacrifice this, which I'm not done crying about doing it yet, but I'm gonna take this out and I'm gonna move this control panel up into here, and then my shelf space all the way across becomes available for, you know, clothing or whatnot. bought these hooks from IKEA. I don't remember exactly how much they were, but they fold up and you just pop them open. And let me show you what I do with these. At the foot of my bed, where this cabinet is one of the Van original built-ins, and it's metal, and these clips, you can screw in, but instead of screwing them in, I've super glued magnets onto the back, so I can hang them. Second one open. I can hang two of them right there. And I'm trying to use my other hand here. And they function as a shelf for my tablet. So if I find anything interesting on the internet, YouTube, or show I want to watch or something, this is just a little bit crooked, but I can lay here in my bed on the 10-inch tablet and I can watch shows and whatnot right there. And when I'm done, I take it down, I fold those up, and they're out of the way. Here is the shower, and this is like a restaurant mop sink for a base. And pull this shower curtain back, tuck that into there, and you see on the back wall I've got a little organizer, hangs there. That's just sitting on a hook. A little dark in there, isn't it? That's why I have this little key fob. Boom, and that turns on the lights. That way there's no switches in or around the water. It's an old recycled 4-inch bar sink from a restaurant. Cost me nothing. There's my handy dandy 5-gallon square bucket that I use for laundry. Use it as a table, use it as a chair, stand on it. I sit on it in here, wash my feet. But up to here, there's my shower head. That comes off. Pretty simple thing. And then this, if you look, see if we can back up just a little bit. This opens up and comes out. And those are just drawer slides. Painted till they don't get rusty. And I've got some accessory hooks there. So we can pull this. Pull this around and we'll tuck that in and stand back just a hair. That gives you a lot of shower room because it's actually a small, but it gives you, shall we say, elbow room so that the shower curtain isn't sticking on you. It's a nice feature. And we also have some little, this one's easier to show, some little accessory hooks here where I can hang washcloth to dry, different things of that nature. And those are just drawer slides for cabinetry. And in the middle here, we've got a little towel bar. I can hang things up on that, close that. Anything in there will drip dry. Ideally, you don't want anything drying in the van because it's just putting moisture into your living space, and that's no good. The walls here are just FRP. And what else are we missing? If we come back a little bit, there's that hook right there. It's where I can put my towel. So that will hang out, and I can reach it and grab it and start drying off before dripping everywhere. And this is right at the back door. Back door's behind here. That way, if I'm coming in dirty and need to clean off, it's right there. That is my shower. Hot and cold water. The next stop on the tour is my hanging closet. These towels here are just blocking distracting views so I can focus on what I'm showing here, and then once I go through and kind of do a round tour of everything, I'll take all that stuff down. But it just helps delineate, is that a good word? I don't know. Focus on what we're focusing on. This is a mirror. There's our hook there. When we open this, there's another mirror. That right there, that circle is 7 years bad luck. Back to the front, that circle at the bottom is another 7 years bad luck. Folks, secure your cargo or get bad luck. Coming up here onto the top, there is a little hook. If I can get that, pop that hook, loosen that up. Come back across here. And there's a larger full-length mirror if you need it. Coming into the closet, we've got hooks to hang belts. We've got a hanging bar here for our hangers. Back behind here, I don't know if you can really see it, but there's a cedar plank that goes top to bottom. It's supposed to help keep bugs out. Along the side, there is a light strip, a LED light strip. And I keep some longer things, trekking poles, some other silly stuff is in here. But we come down to the bottom, tucked away here, I have a cigarette style plug. And I can use that for when I decide I want to put my little 12-volt vacuum in there, vacuum, clean up the floors. So I could probably use it a little bit. But coming back up, what I use are these just a regular everyday metal hanger, and I squish them to make them shorter. And since they're squished shorter, that is what gives me the room to have that second row, second row clothes hanging up. If I just had a standard size hanger, I wouldn't have enough space floor to ceiling to have 2 rows of clothes. This is the closet. Our next stop is the kitchen. Here's some cooking inspiration. I can hang these little things. Sometimes they're recipes. Sometimes they're just more obvious advice. But works for hanging things. Take a step back here, and I've got a remote, and if I push this magic button, we get some nice warm under cabinet lighting. That's pretty nice. And then we come up here, probably can't see that, but I've got my carbon monoxide or whatever detector back there, and then I've also got a dimmer switch here. Well, if we look under here, there's also a strip light of white lights. So let's turn one set off. There we go. And there's some light. Now, upper cabinets. Let's start over here. First upper cabinet, we've got Ziploc bags, saran wrap, aluminum foil, whatever, all that good stuff there. Some bowls, some plates, things of that nature here. In the center, that's my little goodie junk drawer. That keeps my little belly fat. Coming into here is where we keep our train. Everybody should have a train. And some extra bowls, utensils. Here's some vitamins, supplements, extra coffee, creamer. Coming down to the second row, I keep lighters. These are Velcroed. There's a strip of Velcro back there, just so they stay put and I know where they are. And then I've got my little drinks, tea, coffee, spices, and everything running across to here. And all the way over to the right is the microwave. Coming down, we have a little drawer here. That's got all my silverware and basic utensils in it. And then this second one here has, essentials, coffee creamer, different things, just more storage. And I've also got a power strip up there, so if I need 120, I've got some power there. This guy here is essentially just to let silverware and whatnot drip. Coming across, we have a big sink. And this comes out and has feet on the bottom, so it will set. It'll set right there. So I can do my dishes, and then I can put stuff over here to dry. It just gives me more space. I can't stress how important having a good size sink like this is. It allows you plenty of room to do your dishes. You can wash your hair in it. You can hand wash some clothes. Use different options of things you can do having that. And then these little pegs also lock it in so it stays still. Then we come over here and a 3-burner stove, which is really nice. Really, really nice. Coming up under here, you probably can't see it, but we've got magnetic strips under here. So if I'm cooking and I need to open a package, I can open a package, stick that back up there, it'll stay, and keep knives, tongs, different things like that. And I can also put washcloth or something or whatever in there. And this is just, it's a strong magnet, but stuff just stays where I put it. And take that guy out. There we go. That covers that. Now we are going to go down below. In or behind door number 1, we have a light switch. There is our hot water heater, point of use, instant gas, vented outside along the back. And here we have our goodies. Below this, you can see that black tube, that's actually propane. And I can put that through here. I've got a little accessory propane line that I used for my heater that I don't use anymore. Behind door number 2, we have more utensils. There's an instant pot that I don't really use. There's somewhere in there, there's an induction burner I've never used, and some different things like that. And door number 3, oh, what a mess. Someone should clean this. No, that's not alcohol. You can't see that. This slides out if I need to. And it just kind of all kinds of odds and ends in here. And one of these days I'm going to put a second coat of poly over all this. It really needs it. But, quick look back across. This is my kitchen, and it does bed up or butt up to my bed over here, so I do have to be careful not to make super huge messes. You know, I don't want my bed sheets smelling like bacon. You know, as good as that sounds, it's probably bad. The stove, not the stove, but the fridge is directly behind me. Fridge and pantry is behind me. This is across from the kitchen. This is my chest fridge, and if you look, it's crammed in with food all the way around it, except for where the vents are. And I made this oversized because, you know, fridges are going to come in different shapes and sizes, and they're not going to last forever, so eventually it'll have to be replaced. So I made that larger, and I actually got this idea from someone else. I'm putting in a cabinet on pull-out slides, but the problem is that it's so heavy to pull out that it's really takes 2 hands, and it's no good on the back. And especially if you're on a little bit of an angle, it's really hard to get this thing open. And me having it overloaded with about 2 months worth of food probably is not helpful. So I will go ahead and close this drawer, and we'll carry on. We've got that pushed in. And this here is actually an addition to the build, and part of the reason that I put off doing a tour of it is because I didn't want to include things that didn't work. And that pull-out drawer I just showed you didn't work. So I cut the countertop open. I cut this open so that I can reach in here and get my food and pretty much get access to everything in there. So that was round 2, shall we say. Also, this cabinet here, this runs along behind the computer back here. This cabinet is also an addition. You may be able to tell that the stain doesn't match. So I added this on the West Coast, and they didn't have the same brand of stain available to me, so I just went with what I could get. But this lifts up, has all kinds of junk in it. Come back here, lifts up, all kinds of junk in it. Up here, we've got hooks with all kinds of stupid stuff. Yeah, maybe I'm paranoid about locks. I don't know. But I've got a bin here that I'm currently using for vegetables, one I'm using for fruits, and then I've just got, you know, random hooks on here in different places. I just kind of stick everything, I hook everything onto that. Sunglasses, whatever. I'll just come up here and hook that in, that way you know where they are. Up across the top here, there's a strip light up in there, and that is currently on a switch, and just that goes off and on. And these curtains, I couldn't find any curtains that were the right length, so I just went and I got some, and I just took some scissors and hacked the bottom of them off. But you can't tell, so that's okay. Let's come back to here. We've got hook eyes in here, and I've got a bungee and some shop cord where I can secure things. There's another hook in the middle, and then if you see my laptop here has one sits in front of that. I've driven all over the place, and it's held the computer right where it's supposed to be. It hasn't moved. And here I've got a little power station, some USB 3.0s, and there's my laptop charger, cigarette port. And then this thing, I don't really use it very often, but it just kind of sits there for fun. But back behind there, there's another cigarette lighter. I need to dust back there. Another cigarette lighter plug-in back there. And somewhere behind this thing is a television, but we're not going to go there yet. Let's go see what we have not looked at. We have not looked down below. Food. I actually have a light switch right there, and that lights up everything across here. I've got 3 rows of storage for food, and those go back a little ways. I don't know if you can see, but I hold a bunch of stuff. And then this is full of goodies. And then for driving, I've got a little hook. If y'all can see that, a little hook box into there. And this right here, this drawer is actually open a little bit, and this is just a window sash hasp. And when I'm driving, I'll lock that down here. This one here, I'm still working on a little bit. That's a pull-out drawer with goodies and stuff on it. There's my little folding toilet guy, and there's a little folding bucket inside there. So does that answer that question? Okay, good. Glad we resolved that. Next, we come over to here, and this kind of turns into a catch-all. But I've got a little scale under there at the bottom. That's the little duct for my diesel heater. Scale hiding below it, so I can't use it, can't find it. And then I built this shoe rack. This was actually an add-on. It needs to be repainted already, but that's an add-on. And then up here I've got 2 bins, and that's got, you know, deodorant, grooming stuff, whatever, blah blah, antacids, medicine stuff is in there. And then up above that I've got two bins here, and I Velcro those down, and the Velcro the stuff stays. This right here was on a previous video. That's my little motion night light. He's not hooked up right now, but. And then this was just a little shelf, file shelf deal, but it broke, and then I tried to Velcro it, and that didn't work either. So I'm looking for like a metal shelf or something to replace that with. And then up here on the back door, I've got my bug zapper and an umbrella. Stays right there. And then there's that thing. This thing hiding under here. And let me open these. This is my window. See if we can pull these guys out of the way. And just tuck them. I don't know how well this is going to show because the lighting is going to be very different, but I put screw eye hooks and then clips and shot cord across so that I can hang different things and doodads in the window. I've got some of these little like Lucy lights, so I'll hang them up there. I've got a couple of those, and just kind of different things that just hangs out of the way. And then I can close the curtains and I don't have to look at it. And up here here, I keep this guy. If someone messes with me, I'll break your dang toe. I'm telling you, I will break your toe. Don't try it. It's just Velcro. And this comes off. And that is where my air conditioner lives. This is currently in winter mode, put away in its little box, and then I keep the remote for it Velcroed right here on the side with some of the other remotes. Let's walk outside for a second. The air conditioner essentially lives behind this cabinet, and we pull this, and you can see the air conditioner back there. So that's just where it lives. The batteries in the remote are actually dead, but this mounts on a sheet of plywood, and then it's got under drawer slides, if that makes sense. But push that button, and we have an air conditioner running on lithium batteries and solar. To be honest, I only run this occasionally when it's really hot, and I only run it at nighttime to cool down so that I can sleep. That's essentially when I really use it, and even then I prefer to find cooler places to sleep, further up in the hills or something. But it's there if I need it. Hey, startled me a little bit. What are you doing under my bed? Well, since you're here, looking at the road atlas, trying to get some ideas where we go next. Heads Carolina, tails California. Somewhere greener, somewhere warmer, maybe. I'm still actually working on the space a little, but my chair fits there. I can hang out. And I have a desk. This pulls out my little keyboard tray. Under here there are two more cabinets. Those are big cabinets that came with the van. And there's some more stuff. Lots of goodies in a pull-out drawer. I should probably throw most of that away. But this is just another usable space. I keep all my knives and throwing objects right there. But that's another under the bed space. And this is looking through, that's the door that goes into the front of the van. I am still working on this contraption. It's not 100% yet. I still have to stabilize it a little bit as it goes up and down just to make sure it stays square, because this is a linear actuator here that lifts, and this is a linear actuator here that lifts, and there's only two of them close to balanced on center, and there's still a little bit of play in it. But if I'd have put one on each corner and done four of them, it would go up and down more square, shall we say. But I didn't really want to put the time, energy, or money into two more of these things. So as it is right now, it is functional with just a little bit of human assist. But what we've got right here is a little switch. And we just throw that switch. And then we back off. And this, if you can see, has a little bit of movement to it. So essentially, just kind of slight little guide, just a finger or two. but she'll come down. A little snag there for a second. And boom! Time to go to sleep. This is my bed. It is just over 6 feet, 6 feet 4 inches or something like that, head to toe, and I think like 54 inches wide. And these guys right here are my friends, and these actually go in the roof vent and block out light and help insulate it if I need it. It's actually the covers made for these are in here. I just bought pretty pillow covers on Amazon, wrapped them in that. But over here on the left side of the bed, there is USB plug-in, and then there's a little night light, reading light or something, and you come across to the other side and there's another night light, there's another charger, and then I've got little cup holders, two cup holders that sit right there. So if I fold the bed up into a sitting position, love seat position, I can set a drink there. And there's 2 chargers. And if we spin around and lay down, this is what I see on my ceiling when I wake up in the morning. And that is a picture my grandma painted the year I was born. So that is that's my view every morning when I open up my eyes. How's that for nice? At the head of the bed, there's this, which opens up, and you guys have seen this. I use that as a block out. This comes and goes into here, but that functions as a privacy curtain. I can hide from myself, and it just goes back into its little cubby. And for extra storage, I need to paint or stain the back of it, but for extra storage I got hooks on there, and then this just closes back up, and there's the bed. This bed is hinged in the middle, and I've got a little chain that clips right up in there on that ceiling light, and this is welded metal bed frame, just a standard household bed frame, and then it's done with aluminum slats. And there you can see I keep my Reflectix in there when it's not being used. But this folds up, it opens up the floor space if I need to carry a piece of cargo or sheet of plywood or something like that. I can just fold the bed up real easy. Only takes a couple seconds, and I've instantly expanded my storage space. Oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I was getting ready to watch this show, see if it's any good. Yeah, have a seat. Well, come on up. Howdy, peoples. What? Someone say dinner's done? Don't have to tell me twice. That looks pretty good. Want some? Pull up a chair. Help yourself. Where's my drink? Don't touch my food. We are now in the cab of the vehicle, and I carry this little solar panel with me, and this goes directly into this fan. So when it's in the sun, the fan will spin, and that'll draw in air through the open window and just kind of gives a little bit of air circulation up here when I need that. And we'll just move that out of the way for a second. Up on the dash, I have 40 watts of solar that lives there. Come around to the inside, and that goes into one of those cheap little solar controllers, and then that twists around to the passenger door. From there it goes in and just wiggles through through the door opening and the fender. And once it gets into the engine compartment, it just has alligator clips that go to the vehicle battery. The reason I have these panels up here is if I'm parked somewhere for several weeks enjoying myself, my time out in the forest, I'm not worrying about whether the battery on the vehicle is charged or going dead or anything like that. I don't have to think about that. The next feature we have up front is this right here, which is 4 yards of fabric from Joann's, and then there's clips about $20. It's about a $20 purchase right here, and you can see that clip going right up here to that molding. We can follow this around, and there's another clip, and this clip goes here, and we follow it around, and there's another clip. Keep following this around. Camera's a little slower than my hand is. Clip this in, and then we're untangling more cloth, clipping that in. Change position slightly, come around to here, and drop the clip. I lost a corner here. And we close that in. Kick that off the seats. And I can hide up front. Nobody can see me. See what it looks like from the outside. Stepping out, and we're pulling this around the steering wheel and over here, closing the door and stepping away. You really can't see in there. And there is a little gap up here at the very tippy top. See, there is a little air gap, but I mean, you'd have to be 6.5 feet tall to see there. But that closes off the whole cab, and I went with that kind of bland gray color because it just kind of blends in, and the inside of the vehicle just looks dark. It doesn't look like there's anything there most of the time. It just looks dark. Let's go back inside. So we go inside our little cocoon. Guest bathroom, right there between the seats. And this behind here, this opens up, splits in the middle, and that's my door that goes to back of the van. That door opens up. So I can use this space up here as a restroom, and I can go through that door, do my business here, go back in there, and nobody has any idea what's going on. I've got complete privacy, and I'm not having to carry around like a little pop-up tent or anything like that. It just, it's convenient, and it works. And I can go from the front to the back, and no one has any idea what's going on or if there's somebody in here at all. And it just, it works. This is our side garage. It's not 11 feet. But this is a 15 amp electric, shore power if I needed it, which I don't. And I also have a line that feeds up from underneath into here that I can run an extension cord out the bottom that also serves the same purpose. Gives me options. But this is our side garage. Some people have garages under the bed and back in different configurations, and this one has the back door, so it doesn't allow anything like that. And this originally housed a 7,000 watt Onan generator, which I removed because it would be overkill for anything I need. But I've got dual propane tanks, 2 of them there. Important to note, I've also got a dual regulator where I can, or not a dual regulator, but I've got a regulator, because this right here is my outdoor kitchen. And I've got a dual line that I can hook onto here, and that'll feed the propane inside, and it'll also come here and feed the outdoor kitchen right here. But that's not hooked up right now. But what I'm going to do is I've carried 2 propane tanks for almost a year now, and I've filled one of them, I think 3 times, maybe. And that one still has plenty of propane in it. I don't use anywhere near as much as I thought, so I'm actually going to delete one of these propane tanks, and that'll give me a lot more extra storage space down here to utilize something else. But in here we've got a 30-gallon freshwater tank, and there's a gravity feed. And if I can get this funnel out, I'll clean that up a little bit. But this sets down there, just uses as a funnel, just off-the-shelf PVC fittings. Makes it easier to fill that. Set this here for now. Close that so no bugs get in my water. But there's also water lines that run down, and I've got a hose fitting under the van down here where I could hook it into a water line and fill that way, or just run off, run off the standard water line if I wanted to and avoid the tank. It does have that option. But in here I've got some tools. I've got my kitchen, my outdoor kitchen. There's a little small generator tucked away back in here. It goes back for a little ways. You can kind of see back in there. It goes back a little ways. And I have my kayak paddles. I keep my little fold-out chair and fold-out table here. So when I park somewhere, I just open this door and I just set my chair and table out here, and I'm good. But that essentially is what this outside compartment is. This is a really quick look at my outdoor kitchen setup. And I've got, essentially I've got a burner here, and I actually use 2 clamps, but I just set this in here just to show you guys. That goes to my propane tank. I set some water bottle right here. And then out here I can put my little fold-up chair and table. And when it's hot, I can cook outside, or if I just don't want to be inside, I can cook outside. But I've covered this more extensively in a video on building this contraption. So if you want to look through my, if you want more information on it, you can look through my my playlists for, I believe it's van build and related content, and it would be in there. Another compartment here, which I'm not going to open. Well, maybe I'll open it. Let me see. There we go. And that is household maintenance stuff. So this is I use the compartments to stay organized, and that household maintenance. Let's go around to the other side. We're now on the passenger side of the vehicle, and this this storage space down here is vehicle maintenance. That's where I keep, extra oil filters, extra belts, vehicle jack, can of AC Freon, any all kind of whatever for the vehicle. That's vehicle maintenance. Goes in here. And then we come over to the back, and we have this one here. And I've opened this up before, but I've got my shovel, my leveling jacks, there's a few longer tools that don't fit, and also deep down tucked away in here, that is the diesel tank for my diesel heater, and all that stuff lives here. And then I've also got a little telescoping ladder that I sandwich into this compartment as well. That essentially is the majority of the outside stuff. Covers all the compartments, I believe. Here's another cool feature of this van, is I've got GFI ground fault outlets, and little bugs too, but never mind those. But I've got outside electricity. I want to show you what that's for. Outside electricity and a big white van. A big white van. That's right, folks. I can watch movies on the side of the van. How cool is that? I think that just about covers everything.